Today I'm working on a 2010 Kia Soul, and what I'm going to be doing today, I'm going to be replacing the rear rotors and the brake pads. I already removed the rear tire. I also removed the cap from the master cylinder, and I put a rag on it. And the reason why I do that is because when I compress the caliper piston, the brake fluid usually come up, and I don't want it to fall in the car. So let's go and replace this rear brake pads. Right in the rotors, you have two Phillips screws. You have one here and one in the bottom. These are usually hard to remove. So if it's hard to remove for you, if you try with a Phillips and it doesn't come out, make sure you don't strip it. What you want to do is you want to use one of these impact screwdriver. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this big screwdriver here to try to remove them. The best way I have found out to remove these right here, you just don't want to go and put it softly and try to remove it. What you want to do is just want to push it, and you want to put the Phillips screwdriver in, and you're going to have to hold this because if you don't hold the rotors, it's going to move. And you push in, and then you just, look. So there you go. So that one removed quite easily. But the whole trick to this, for me, is pushing in. So now let me try the other one. Once again, push in, hold the rotors. There you go. And that's it. Think I got lucky, but I removed them. So now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna start removing these bolts out of here, and these are 14mm socket to remove the rotors. And this bracket out of here, all you need is a 14mm socket and a wrench. So let me get you closer. So let's remove the top one first. Okay, they're both the same. What we're gonna do is take this out, and then you don't want to let it hang because you don't want to break the hose from the brakes. So what you do is you put it in the side right here without being hang. Now we're gonna remove the brake pads, and you're gonna use a screwdriver. And these things seen better days. So you just put it there and just swipe them out. Just remember which one goes where. There it goes. So the one with this anti-wear goes in the inside. So don't forget. So now we're going to remove the two back ones. Be careful with your leg when you remove this one because there's a possibility that this can fall. And there it goes, it's falling. Okay, so we removed the bracket. Now let's remove the rotors. Now let's remove the rotors. But I'm looking at this through here and I see all this rust. I don't think this rotors is gonna come out that easy. Let's give it a try. Yeah, this thing is stuck. I notice it right here is nice and rusty. So what I'm gonna do is, because I'm replacing the rotors, so I'm gonna be hitting it with this little mallet here. And usually I like to hit it around here, but I'm gonna hit it to the back to see. Here it goes. That was not easy. All right, what we're gonna do now is, let's clean this up. We're gonna use some brake cleaner. Want to make sure you clean all this up nice and clean. Make sure you clean this through here. You want a wire brush. And the reason why you want to do that is when you put the anti-seize, you want the rotors to come out much easier the next time you are going to replace it. Then around here, use a hard brush. I have only a soft brush, but what I'm going to do is come around here and clean all this up. And then I'm going to put some anti-seize, and I'll be right back. Now that we put the anti-seize, what we want to do is we want to compress the caliper pistons. We're going to compress the caliper piston. Hopefully you can get a good view there. And what I like to do is I like to take an old brake pad and put it there. And then what I do is I take a pair of C-clamps and I put it right in there. And what I do is I close. I start closing the C-clamp. And once I keep closing it, what happens is the piston is going in. See how smoothly it's going? There you go. It went all the way in. Now it's going to be much easier when we put the new brake pads in. So it's right in. So let's put it back here. What we're going to do is clean the rotors. The new rotors, we got to clean them up. You're probably asking, why do we have to clean the rotors? The reason being is because it comes with some type of lubricant and grease on it. So we want to take that grease off for it. So we just use some brake cleaner and just wipe them. That's it. Also, on the old rotors, we have this rubber piece here. We have to remove it. All you do is use a regular screwdriver and just remove it. This is how it looks. All you do is just put it, all right, make sure I put it in the correct spot. Right here. That's it. Push it in, and it's in. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean this bracket here. And we're going to remove these things out of here. This hardware. And I have new ones. They're right here. So all I like to do is just put some brake cleaner. And use my hot brush. And clean it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean through here, clean all around, and I'll be right back. The next thing I like to do is put some grease on the sliding pin, but these are moving freely, so no need to do it. But if it was stuck, you have to remove it and put some grease in it. So now let's put this hardware here, and it goes just like this. Make sure that this metal piece is coming down. And then all you do is just press it down. Make sure it goes all the way down. Now you do the other ones. Same way. Okay, now that we put the hardware, I'm going to put the brake pads on them. So now let's put the brake pads. And what I like to do is, I like to put some grease on the hardware. What I do is I just put a little bit there in the bottom, you know, in the top. I'll show you once I'm finished. So you see I put it right in there. You could also put them in the top of the brakes, but I just like putting it right there. You can also put them right in here in the top if you wish, but I like doing it there. So now, you remember that the one with this right here with the anti-wear indicator goes inside. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this right here and you're gonna put it right, you're gonna put the bottom in like this. Push it in. Once you push it in, then you go in the top, right there, look. And all you do is push it in. So now the brake pad is in. Now you're gonna do the same thing with the other side. And all you're gonna do is, same thing. You can start from the top, you can start from the bottom. However, you go there. Push the bottom, I put the bottom first. And then what I do is, I push it right in the top. You don't want to push them all the way in because you still got to put them between the rotors. And there it goes. That's how easy. So let's install them back in the car. Now we're going to put the rotors on. But don't forget that we have two little holes here where those Phillips screws go at. And in the rotor, you're going to have to find them. It's right here. You want to make sure they even out together for when we put the Phillips screws back on. So one is here, one is here. So all I do is just make sure I find it. And once you push it in, you will see that you connected them correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some anti-seize on this Phillips screws. And the reason why I'm only doing that is for next time when I take them out, they won't be that hard to remove. Okay, that's done. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put this bracket in. Just remember that this part goes towards the back. And all we have to do is just go here. And when we go through here, you're going to see right inside where it falls at. Now that we put the bracket in, what you want to make sure is I'm going to remove it, that the bolt goes through this hole here and through this one here, and also the one in the bottom. So all we do is put it there, take your bolt, and you just gonna have to keep maneuvering until you find it. Then you screw it in. You do the same thing to the bottom. You can move it, and there it goes. Now, I don't know the torque specs. Make sure you get the torque specs from your owner's manual. What I like to do is just go as hard as possible as I can. And just do the same thing to the other one in the bottom. I just try to go as tight as possible, but make sure you get the torque specs from the owner's manual. So now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna bring the caliper piston down through here, and it's right here. And all we're gonna do is make sure that the hose is straight. You're gonna push these in. You gotta push these things in order for it to go in. The one in the bottom also. So first we'll get them in. You're gonna have to move your brake. You gotta move your brake pads in, and then push this. The one in the bottom also in. And the same thing we did with the one in the bottom. We're gonna put the screws. Make sure that it passes this hole right here to the one over here. And what we're gonna do is just find it. Also do the one in the bottom. Okay, same thing. I don't know the torque specs on them, but make sure that you get it for your owner's manual. What I like to do, like I said, is go, once I feel it tight, I go just a little bit more. This one also. That's it. Check your work. Make sure everything put back together. Now, there's an important part we have to do. We have to at least press the brake pedal at least 10 times. You gotta feel them hard. If you don't feel them hard while you pressing them, that means that you have air in your system. You wanna make sure they are nice and tight when you press them. You're gonna take the master cylinder first. You're gonna put the cap and press the brake pads at least 10 times. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll be right back. So there you go. This is how you replace the rear brake pads and the rotors on a 2010 Kia Soul. So once again, this is NowMechanic. If you have any comments or questions, please post them down below or contact me on nowmechanic101@yahoo.com. That is nowmechanic101@yahoo.com. And remember, if NowMechanic can do it, you can do it. Later.